Hello YouTube, this is Darryl Learie, and today I have hit the pinnacle of my 15 minutes of fame. I made it into the Ripley's Believe It or Not Download the Weird book. There we go. You can see that. Sorry about the light glare there. And I am on page 160. 160. For my most one-arm push-ups on a raw egg. And there's the picture, and there's a video on YouTube when I set the record on breakfast television. And I don't know how well you can see that. There you go. See, you can see it much better. That's me there. On Record Setter, I set the record at 16. On Record Holders, the second largest record governing body, second to Guinness, I set the record at, I think it was 8 or something like that, because those times when I set the record previously, I didn't have two cameras on me, and that was the criteria. Originally, I had gotten the idea of doing the one arm on the egg because there was a world record for a guy who did 112 on 2 eggs, and I wanted to pioneer something that was even more challenging. And the record itself is really hard because the elbow has to extend precisely at least 90 degrees in angle. So it's not an easy record, and the back has to be absolutely straight. So I got into Ripley's Believe It or Not. Yeah, the 9th book of their 2013 annual series. Sold everywhere around the world. There's millions of copies published, and I am so excited. I was like, oh my god, I did this, you know? And I worked out the odds. The odds of getting published within the 2,500 entries within the book are 1 in 2.8 million. So statistically, I could be the only person in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada right now who's in this book. So that's just mind-boggling. This is the 9th annual of their series, and I believe they're owned by Guinness. So, but my story wasn't always such a wondrous story. Um, the truth is, when I was in high school, I got bullied a lot, and I was socially inept because I had started developing what was first misdiagnosed as paranoid schizophrenia because of the negative symptomology of paranoia and stuff like that. A real severe social paranoia, which I still have, and so and I was also shy on top of that. So of course, like a bunch of vultures, I was severely bullied throughout my high school. And the reason I talk about this is because I don't want to just sit here and brag about being in this book. I want to make a point about my life and its meaningful plot that accumulated to my success of being in the book. So I'll tell you how bad my bullying was. Because if there's one thing I'd like to do is stick up for the underdog. I believe in that very much. Um, in high school, I was completely ignored by every girl in high school. I kid you not, except for 3 girls that had the common decency to talk to me and say hello and, you know, wish me happy birthday and stuff like that. My bullying was so bad, it was so severe that there were even times when there was a few psychopathic teenagers that would come to me and try to have like a heart-to-heart talk of why I should consider suicide and doing myself in. I mean, can you believe that? I mean, oh my God, that's horrible. But most of my friends on my Facebook are also world record holders. Some in Guinness, some in Ripley's. Like my friend Dinesh Upadhyaya is also in this book, and he's the one with all the straws in his mouth and all the pencils in his mouth, right? My good friend Dinesh. Yeah, buddy, we both made it. Um, but as some of my friends like Charles Savizio, is also in Guinness, and yes, I'm also friends with Patty Doyle. I have him on my LinkedIn connections, and Michael Gooch, the one finger on the nail. As most of these, and Sean McDaniel, as who was bullied by gangs back in New York a long time ago when he was a skinny little kid, and most of these underdogs. Um, well, when you get bullied, it says um, it can destroy you from within. And if you take it within, then you become suicidal. But if you strive through it, and you can build an amazing, incomprehensible emotional conviction. And that's sort of what happened to me, you know. Um, and I've lived through some pretty extraordinary life events, like my good friend Alicia Weber. I mean, this woman holds world records for almost all of them for females doing push-ups and one-arm push-ups, and you know but most of these people were underdogs, especially in school, and they because they survived through that, and they stopped through that phase of feeling sorry for themselves. They had built a strong, powerful emotional conviction where they really, in a spiritual sense or psychological sense, they had to sort of set the record straight to pull something extraordinary out of themselves and and present it to the world. Now, I don't have any regrets over being so harshly bullied in high school. I really don't, because if I had been popular in high school and you know uh, just athletic and all that good stuff, then I would have been really contented and really happy, and whatever. Yeah, yeah, that contention, that contentedness would have just carried me through life, and I wouldn't have felt the passion and the wanting and the desire, the bloodthirsty urgency to prove myself in some method. Heroes are born out of tragedy. You see it like in comic books like Spider-Man, right? You know, and this is the point. Heroes aren't born out of a normal, typical, everyday life. It's just not the way it seems to work in real life or in fiction. And I mean, it's the greatest story ever told. It's man versus man, man versus himself. And what better story than when someone overcomes a huge struggle to all of a sudden appear, boom. But I wouldn't call myself a hero by any means. I would say if there was anything even slightly heroic about what I do, it's that I try to volunteer a lot, and I help people because they need help. Simple as that. You help somebody because they need help. No other reason, no other motivation. You just do because something needs to be fixed. That's it. So, let this and to end with that, I'm not done yet. I have to now I have to progress to my next feat. The first one arm, one thumb push up on an egg, on a raw egg without breaking the egg. So, a lot of people are telling me it's impossible. A lot of my friends agree with me that it is possible. I absolutely agree it's possible. So, Yeah, baby, yeah. Oh, yeah. Check this out. Yeah, Darryl Learie did it. Uh, I'm just so happy. I mean, my I have finally became something that future generations of my family can talk about and reflect on. I'm gonna be in libraries around the world, you know. Uh, just amazing, just amazing. And I like I like Record Setter, and that's how Ripley's discovered me was through Record Setter, you know, like my other records, like most one-arm push-ups on a steel, on a knife blade, and longest breath hold by a smoker, which was like over 4 minutes. Um, because their motto is phenomenal feats by ordinary people, and there's nothing phenomenal about me. So I hope somebody learns from this video. I really do. I did it, baby. Yeah, page 160. You want to see it again? Okay, 160. There it is. 160. Oh, look at that. Look at that. I remember that. That was in my backyard there. Man, I can't tell you how many times the egg broke on me and the eggshells went into my hand and it was just blood and egg yolk. Blood and egg yolk. That's the best way to describe it. But just you wait. I will accomplish the first one thumb, one arm push up on an egg. Cheers, homies. Oh yeah. Remember, heroes are born out of tragedy. Later.